What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kivio Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This week's video is going to be about the games coming to retail August 28th. We have about 6 games coming out this week, actually. A lot of good party games, honestly, and some actually really... there's a couple of interesting... There's one really interesting game with a really interesting action selection. I'll go deeper into when we get there. But yeah, super cool games coming out. And yeah, we have some So we have a crossover between August 31st and September. So we're going over the games from August 28th, the week of. That bleeds into the first week of September. We do the week of, not really a specific time frame, just the week of this date. So that's how it's going to work. Let's get the video going right away. And let's start off with a quick disclaimer. Just keep in mind, I am going over the games coming to retail in the United States. So you might have seen these games out in other regions. Content creators put out videos about it because they've received a prototype copy or a review copy of some sort previous to the release dates, and that might have been in different regions of the world as well. So keep that in mind when I'm reviewing the games, that you might see a couple games that have already been out in other regions of the world, but these are going to be coming to the US. The last thing is the global shipping crisis is still going on, so if there is a specific game that I mentioned, I set a release date for, but got pushed back, I will make sure to update you in the respected week that the game got pushed back to be released in. That way we can kind of keep up and keep track of that. So let's get these games going. Let's get some review and coverage going on. So first things first, by Hatchet Board Games is going to be Oh Really? So pretty, honestly, really cool party game. I love party games that they're more interactive with your friends in a way of getting to know them. Like really good icebreakers, typically. That's what I like about this game. So in Oh Really, you're going to have a selection of categories. Let's see if I can get some pictures here. Here they are. So selections of categories, and your friends are going to guess on a scale of like 1 to 5 which one is your preference in order. That's actually really cool. There's been a couple of games similar to this one that play a little differently and have a little bit different topics. This is actually like a really good icebreaker game. I like these type of icebreaking games when they have a little bit of like guess what I like. And then from there you start going off and really getting to know the person. Really good for icebreaking, and I like these type of party games as well. The game's called Oh Really, and I didn't even announce what date's coming out. My apologies. This is going to be Oh Really, coming out August 31st, excuse me, August 31st. It's going to be, like I said, a really good party game for icebreakers, and I like that about it. So basically, that's all it really is. You're going to get a card, you're going to put out the category and your categories, and your friends are going to guess in order of what you like and don't like, depending on who's playing, of course. And it's a really simple party game, but I like it. Good for icebreakers, part of the best type of games for icebreakers to really get to know people in a party or a new game group of some sort. It's really awesome. Well, I guess it's a good way to get to know them because you're going to be guessing what they like, but at the same time, the game gets better as you already know your friends, right? If you already know who they are, then I guess it's easier to guess what they do and don't like. I typically like it for icebreakers and stuff like that because, like I said, you just start getting to know everybody. Even though people are going to get it wrong, you just start assuming they like certain things. My opinion, of course, even with your other friends, correct? Like, even with, like, your other friends who you already know for a long time, those games as well are going to be very interesting to find out what they, like, kind of narrow down what they do and don't like, which is really cool. So that's going to be Oh Really, coming up by Hatchet Board Games, coming out on August 31st. Coming up next is going to be Hungry Monkey by Heidelberg Games. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that entirely wrong. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's going to be a card game, and apparently, I was reading the rulebook and such, and I couldn't really understand too well how much it had played. However, it looks like you have a tableau, and your whole goal is to get rid of your cards in your hand, your card and tableau, and each card has a specific ability to be able to do more than just get rid of the cards. You're going to have a really nice looking card. They look like tarot cards almost, but they have really cool artwork. And that's the whole goal of the game, is you're going to have a set of cards, you're trying to get rid of them by kind of putting them down, using their abilities to get rid of them. And the way you kind of count off scores by using red beans. And I think you actually can find that right there. So it looks like it's right there. You find these red beans is like points for the game. So you go round by round, whoever gets the most red beans wins. Really cool looking card work. That's a hyena. This is coming out September 1st, by the way. Yeah, September 1st. Really cool looking cards and some great artwork going on. Load more. Yeah, that's really cool. They look really cool cards. It looks like a little fun game. It's a simple card game. Typically, these games can have a lot of value depending on how much you like the gameplay. That depends. It depends a lot on, like, if you like the gameplay or not, because variability with these games usually lacks because after you play it a couple times, you already know what cards are coming, what cards are going to be going. So it all really depends on how much you really enjoy playing this little puzzle over and over again. It's called Hungry Monkey by Heidelberg Games, coming out September 1st. Next game called Garden Nations by Bombyx, coming out September 1st. So Garden Nation, the Art of War and Building. So this is going to be a area control style game with a really interesting action selection system. So the game itself, you're basically playing as tiny people and you are different clans and you're going out and trying to conquer different areas because you all have different ways you think things should be made or built. So your whole goal is to pick your character essentially, or your clan, go out and try to build. Let me see if I can find the pictures here. Here's the board. So this is going to be one of the boards. The quality of the pictures is a little bad, but each board here is modular as well, and the pieces come out. You're going to be choosing a building on a specific section and building that up, and you have different clans who are are they asymmetrical? It looks like it might be a little asymmetrical. I think the building part is really cool as well. So you're gonna have like 3D style buildings that are gonna be building up. Let's see if I can get some more pictures going. So that I want to show you the buildings, and I think actually they're going to be right over. I actually don't. They were here earlier, so I think you have to scroll through all these pictures. But let's try to get this faster. We'll go through a couple of the components as well. It looks like a really well-produced game. There it is. There's a couple of them. So it looks cool. It looks interesting. There's going to be different cards and different goals you achieve with each building type as well. So, for example, this one gets you 7 points for doing this specific action, which I'm not entirely sure what it does exactly. Artwork looks really cool. The theme looks really awesome. It's an interesting theme, definitely, and dives deeper into different aspects of the tiny people kind of worlds. Even like there's eventually going to be an RPG. It actually is an RPG out that is talks about just tiny people and like you're basically traversing your own home by doing this. So it looks awesome. It looks like a great game. This is probably the most complex game out of the ones we're going to show today. Most of them are mostly party games or faster games you play. It's called Garden Nation by Bombyx Games, coming out September 1st. Next game is called Topic _, and I'm not too sure what that means exactly, but it's also coming out September 1st. It's going to be by Sit Down. The game itself, so it's like if you haven't played any other card games, like really loony, like quick action games, it's like that. Because this game essentially is similar to that. So you're going to have a deck of cards. Let me see if I can find the setup. It's right here, actually. So if you look right here, there's 2 decks of cards, right? So the deck of card here is going to be, this one's going to be flipped over. They're both going to be flipped over. So you're going to flip this deck of cards, and you're going to flip this card here. And if this fruit and number, like this fruit doesn't match one of these selections here, you're going to want to put your hand on the deck as fast as possible. And the person who doesn't is knocked out of the game. And if you do put your hand on, and if you do see the number matches, you're going to try to guess a category depending on what was chosen. So let's get a closer look at the cards. So for example, here, when it says green DNA, right? So you're trying to come up with like a 2-syllable word that relates to the green DNA. Off the top of my head, I have no clue what would match with that. Maybe an easier would be like the purple vase. Saying like, I say it doesn't come to my mind. However, that's basically the goal of the game. You're going to be pulling up cards here, and you're going to be matching. If the fruit here matches one of the fruits that are available on this card here, actually, you can check it out better here in this section. One of these fruits, you're going to try to guess a 2-syllable word that matches those two specific word that matches that specific category that was selected. That's basically the whole game. Pretty cool game. If you like, for example, like Cat Taco Goat Pizza or something like that, the game's called. Cat Taco Goat Cheese, I think it's called. And that game basically plays similar to this. I think that one's more streamlined than this one. This one definitely has a little more thinking to it because you have to come up with a category right away as soon as you see it. So that's going to be a party style game, of course, with a lot like quick actions. It's going to be Topic by Sit Down Games, coming out September 1st. Another game coming out by Sit Down Games is Fairy Lights. Fairy Lights is going to be another party game. It's a push your luck. Actually, not a party game. It's just a simpler game. It's called Push Your Luck with Fairy Lights. You're definitely pushing your luck essentially. So let me see if I can find a picture here. It's there you go. So you're gonna have a deck of cards here, and you're going to be pulling them and releasing a bunch of. They have a name. There's a very specific name. They're creatures. There's definitely it's a letter with a P, and you're gonna be pulling them out, and these little creatures are gonna come out. And you want to collect sets of them. So for example, here, if you have this yellow and this yellow was actually in the market area, which is this row here, you're going to want to collect those two to make a set. And you get points by making sets, for example, based off of these cards here, for example. So that's basically the whole game. And you're going to flip the cards over. And once you get a certain amount of cards out, you're going to have to actually pass your turn if you don't collect anything. So you want to see if you can by chance pull anything that would match so you can collect them. And if you push too hard and you just keep pulling cards, you end up skipping your turn, which is detrimental to getting points, which is how you lose the game, being in last place essentially. So it's good. This game is pretty simple. It's called Fairy Lights by Sit Down, coming out September 1st. Another game coming out by Drew's Synopsis Games. Synopsis Games. It's called Beta. I'm assuming by the Beta Fish. I'm not sure if that's how you spell it, but that's called Beta Fish. It doesn't even matter how they spell it. It could definitely be their own theme of the game. And so they did it. So the whole goal of the game essentially is you have these patterns here with different cards. The patterns here, and you have different little like cardboard cutouts here. You're trying to make the patterns match with different colored beta fish. For example, you have a display here. Would that match anything? For example, for this one, right? So if one of the patterns was saying 3 orange like this, for example, in a triangle form, and add 2 more down here for that, you're going to be having different cards that you're going to... Yeah, they don't really show them here either. You're going to have different cards that match up to that. So you're going to have cards that are a preset that you can kind of slot in, and those are going to make a set, and you're going to be matching these patterns here to collect points. This is actually a really good video. This is actually, yeah, it is a really good video. Let me actually, without playing through the video, let me see if I can find the... Here we go. So it's exactly that. So you're going to grab these 2 cards here, and they're going to have patterns on it, and you're trying to slot them in. That's basically the game. And you're going to collect patterns, collect points. Very simple, straightforward game. Can be very good for like maybe a gateway game or something that you want to play quick and easy. I do like those pattern puzzle games like this, or like Tetris. I'm not calling them Tetris, but like pattern puzzle games. It's really cool and interesting. Really simple game. And it actually looks like it got delayed. It says available spring 22, but it's coming out now, September 1st. It's going to be called Beta by Synopsis Games. We have one more by Synopsis game, which is... This is definitely a party game. It's called Draw the Line, coming out September 1st. There's going to be a team, and there's going to be duos. It's going to be teams of 2s, and you're going to be drawing a picture connecting all these symbols and shapes depending on what the other player describes to you in like a game of charades. They're going to describe to you this symbol or like an X, right? They'll go like this, or they'll do something around the lines to like create a little charades. And the charades is going to tell you, okay, I need to start drawing my picture here, and they're going to start drawing a picture, and they have to find out where to start to draw that picture. Let's see if I can find, yeah. So you have one board for the other player and then one board for you, and your goal with the marker is to try to draw out that picture after they give you perfect, Bell. Bell's one of them. They describe Bell to you, and you're trying to figure out, they're trying to charades you to Bell, and you're going to try to find the Bell in this picture here and start drawing the picture of the Bell after you find it. Pretty cool, easy party game as well. Simpler game as well, of course. It looks like the people in the video are having a lot of fun. They do have some really good, this is a good how to play. Gives you a quick synopsis how to play the game. I don't think it goes over a lot of things because it's really quick. There's a lot of things I questioned right away when I read the rule book and I was watching the video. So definitely check it out. It's called Draw the Line by Synopsis Games, coming out September 1st. And that's it. That is going to be all the games for this week that I could find exact dates for. Keeping in mind, if I don't find exact dates or a reputable source for the game, I don't post it and I don't mention it. That way we can just keep out any of the... Keep out as much ambiguity, I want to say the word is. That might be the wrong word. Keep out as much wrong information from the videos as we can. So there's going to be some 6 games. They all look really cool games, mostly party games, but a party game is always fun. Having lighter games is always a great thing, especially when you have a variable game night, right? We have people to come over. You got to wait for the rest of the group to come so you can play a quick game, make sure everyone's entertained while playing games. Always great to have. So if you like this video, and if you like what we're doing here in QVO Games, and if you like these weekly content videos, yeah, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. It helps me also to understand what you do and don't like. Also, commenting helps with engaging with you, so we can have conversation. I love talking about games. I think I'm a good person to talk to about games. I'm a really open-minded person, so definitely reach out and let's talk games. Thank you for watching. Have fun.